everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be doing my part in an art trade with Mini Animation here on YouTube. And so the OC of hers that I'm going to be drawing today is named Juno. I thought she looked so cute and I was really excited to start on the artwork. For some reason, when I saw Juno's design, the first thing I thought of was sunflowers, so I decided to include them somehow in my artwork. And how I decided to do it was just that she's kind of like spinning around in a sunflower field. Originally I was going to make her holding sunflowers, but I couldn't really figure out how to make that look good. Right now I am just tracing over the original sketch I did on paper, and as you can probably see, I went all out with that original sketch. I put so much detail into the sunflowers and everything, and for some reason I was just having a lot of fun with the original sketch, but when transferring it digitally, I was having a little bit of trouble. Making closed eyes is always hard for me, so I didn't know how to make that look right, and her body was also looking a little bit off. But after putting some more time and effort into it, I was able to land on something that I liked. By the way, I'm also using a different line art brush for this than usual, not the regular brush, it's the textured pencil brush I think again. I really liked that one for line art when I did it for like the cats into humans drawing, so I tried it again here. I then finished up the line art pretty quickly and already moved on to coloring. The main reason it was so fast is mostly just because she does have closed eyes. Even though they give me a little bit of trouble, they still weren't as hard as drawing regular eyes, and also her design doesn't have that many separate components that I had to make line art for, so that really helped. Plus, I just think I had a pretty good original sketch. Since I was going so fast for the coloring, I decided to do something a little bit fancy. So normally I just use the fill tool, but this time I was trying to actually color with like a gel pen to give it a little bit more texture in the original coloring. I know in my last video I said that I don't know how artists ever do that and don't just use the fill tool. To me, that's just too frustrating and takes way too long. If you do that, I would like to know why. Why do some digital artists prefer that? Because I've never understood it, honestly. So today I guess I was trying to understand them a little bit better. This did make it a bit annoying to shade later because I couldn't just select the layers like I usually do, but I feel like the result does make it look a little bit more detailed, and since I wanted this picture to have a somewhat painter-y look, I do think it was worth it. For some reason, I struggled with adding the blush on her cheeks. I did it quite a few times. But after that, I got to shade the hair. I remember that I used to hate drawing braids at some point, but now I really like drawing them. I think that they are so cute and I always enjoy it when I get to shade them, so I was excited for that part. Oh my goodness, my app just crashed for some reason. Anyways. Juno really reminds me of Anne from Anne of Green Gables. I know that Anne usually has two braids is what she's depicted like, but I mean, she has red hair, it's a braid, and also Anne is usually drawn or depicted with green outfits, so it just reminds me of Anne even though I know they're not that similar. But yeah, I was having a lot of fun drawing her because I've always wanted to draw Anne, but I've just never drawn Anne for some reason, so today I'm drawing Juno, which is kinda close, but you know, it's not exactly the same at all. But anyways, I do think Juno's design is super adorable. By the way, Mini Animations already did her side of the art trade with me, and she drew my character Faye, and she looks super cute in her style. So thank you very much, Mini Animations, and I really hope you like this picture that I am currently creating for you. The original reference picture had some orange shading on the little hat beret thing, so I made sure to include that in mine as well. And here's where I started to add the white light shines to the hair and other parts of the drawing. I always enjoy that part of the process so much because it makes everything look so much cuter and kind of like glowy. I just really like the effects that it gives. I was thinking of changing up the line art here, but I ended up keeping it the same way it originally was. But it was fun seeing how it looked with all those different effects. And I thought of giving her eyebrows, but again, I decided that that wasn't for the best. For some reason, even though most anime styles usually draw eyebrows, I don't always like the way they look on my drawing, so I keep them out, even though I know that might be a little bit weird. I also edited her head to make it a little bit shorter because I felt like it was a little bit too long. I also kept changing the rest of the line art on her head because I felt like it looked a little bit weird. You can't see it in the footage, but a lot of times I flip the canvas to see how it looks when it's flipped, and it wasn't looking too good. Honestly, I wish that showed up in the time-lapse footage, but for some reason, Medibang just doesn't record that part because of the way you had to do the settings to flip the canvas. But once I was happy with everything, it was time to move on to the part that I was both the most nervous for and also the most excited for. I had to start drawing the sunflowers, and honestly, I am someone who has pretty much no experience in drawing flowers. I barely ever do it, and I really don't know how it works. I had to keep looking up reference pictures, and I kept messing up. It was really confusing, and I just did not know what I was doing, but I am happy with what I landed on in the end. I'm gonna speed through a bit of this footage because it is just very long because I was struggling with these for quite a while. It's honestly a good thing I finished the original line art so quick because these flowers gave me a lot of trouble. Even in this insanely sped up footage, it still looks kind of slow. Now that I have finally finished the sunflowers, I could start on the background of the actual field, and that was a lot of fun to draw. I also thought it'd be a perfect time to do some real-time footage, so that's where I started filming that, so we're gonna switch away from the time-lapse now. I thought it'd be fun to show you guys what it looks like when I draw clouds in real time, because I do add a little bit of shading and detail to them. I don't only use the cloud brush in the white and that's it. I like to add some darker colors too, because that makes them look much more realistic. I'm still working on getting better at drawing clouds though. There's some artists that can do it just so insanely amazingly, but I feel like I still am a bit of a beginner with it. I definitely could get a little bit fancier, but I'm working on it and I do think I'm improving even if it's not all that fast. I don't know why I just sounded so nervous there. I'm not that upset about it. I feel like this whole time recording audio, I just keep getting tongue-tied. I don't know, it's been kind of difficult for some reason today. But anyways, yeah, I was having fun drawing these clouds. And right here I decided to add a whole bunch of filters to the clouds, which is okay I guess, but at the same time it makes it so you can't really see them at the end, and I worked so hard on them. I mean, it only took me a couple of minutes, but still. Honestly, I don't really agree with past Sakura who decided to do that, but whatever. Now I am adding some sunlight to the picture because, I mean, it was supposed to be so bright and cute, and I definitely thought that would add a nice look. I love how it looks when I put on the add glow filter and then blur it. It just looks so nice. I really feel like it does look like actual sunlight, kind of. I just think it's really pretty. But now that we are done that, we have finished the real-time footage and are going to return to the time-lapse. So let's go back to that so I can finally complete this picture and show you the final result. It was a bit boring to watch, so I kind of skipped through it, but I did a lot of editing, like with the line art. There was little white lines all through it, and I had to fix that, as well as I changed the way that her body looked just a little bit because I felt like it didn't look perfect. It just didn't look very natural. But anyways, adding all the effects was super fun, especially like the little rainbow ones. I feel like they added such a nice look to the picture. It just made it feel so much more alive. You know, I'm curious, have any of you guys ever visited like a sunflower field or a flower field in general? I feel like those places are always so pretty. Like whenever I see pictures in them, they just look so gorgeous. Also, do you guys know that sunflower seeds are actually a food? I've had them sometimes and they're actually pretty good, especially I really like these things. You can actually turn sunflower seeds into this sort of like peanut butter type thing, and it's called sunflower butter or sun butter, and it's really tasty. I've had these things that they're like kind of like Reese's cups but with the sunflower seed butter inside of them, and they taste really nice. But my actual favorite type of those things is like ones that have caramel in it instead of the sunflower, so I guess that defeats the purpose, but whatever, and I'm rambling now. Oops. Something random that I did want to mention is that I have been working on reading the You and I Are Polar Opposites manga. Currently I'm on volume 3, and honestly, the more I read it, the more I love it. I still love Suzuki and Tani, but there's also another couple I like. I guess it's a bit of a spoiler, so just skip a little bit if you don't want to see it, but I really like Yamada and Nishi. They're so cute! Like, seriously, Yamada is such a funny, but also, like, stupid guy, and Nishi is so, like, cute and sweet and relatable, and it's just, they just are so adorable together. I love them so much. But yeah, it's really enjoyable so far. I very much hope that I keep really liking it, because it's so good right now. I'm starting to finish up the picture. We are almost done. I don't have that much more to do. I was adding my watermark, and I'm gonna add a few more little effects because, you know, why not? I thought it would look nice. I decided to add like this filter onto it to kind of make it look even more like a painting sort of texture because, like I said originally, I really wanted that kind of look. I just put it over the whole picture instead of originally coloring everything with it, but I do think it still looks really nice. At this point, I couldn't decide if I had made the picture originally too vibrant or if I wanted to go with a little bit of a different look, so I decided to make a second version where it's kind of like an old photograph instead of like an actual scene from someone's point of view. Medibang Paint has this brush that looks like a little like document or something, so I decided to put that on it. I also desaturated the picture a bit and added some more effects to try to make it look like random things were on the table on top of the picture, but I ended up pretty much only keeping the little like document. And I also added this thing that is apparently supposed to be like a hair clip, but I thought that if I kind of like cut off the side of it, it would look more like a paper clip or some random type of office thing. Here I thought of adding random candy scattered on the table, but I just felt like it didn't fit the final look that I was going for. But now, after all that work, finally, here we are. Here is the finished picture. Thank you so much for doing this art trade with me, and I really hope that everybody watching enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Have a lovely, happy day, and bye for now!